Hello and a good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope all today you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. I saluted, I don't know why, this isn't the army. Anyway, hello everybody. Today's video is about this little thing here. This is the Friedman Mini Brown Eye amp. This is a 30 watt solid state, extremely tiny amplifier, kind of newish from Friedman, this thing. So it's basically a single channel amplifier. You've got a master volume, bass, middle, treble, and presence controls for EQ. You've got a cut switch, which basically gives you three different levels of gain. So all the way up is clean, in the middle is the most gain, and down is kind of a mid gain. You have a gain dial, and then you have a tight switch on the right side here next to your input, which gives you different kind of bass responses. Basically sorts out the low frequencies of the amp. In the back, you have two speaker outs and a effects loop. And that's it. So, why the title of the video, Where's the Clean? Basically, this amp doesn't do clean, people of the tube. The lowest gain this does, if you've got humbuckers, is like AC/DC. And they weren't kidding when they say on the box, the legendary high gain. Because if you're after a clean pedal platform thing, this amp is not for you, in my opinion. I just don't... I like to run my pedals through a crystal clean sound if I run pedals. If I go straight into an amp, I like to drive it a bit. But because I want to use my pedals through this thing, I can't. In the intro jam, I was not happy with the tone I got in the intro jam at all. In all fairness, I really despised it. Hence, the intro jam is like really dead short because I just wasn't feeling it at all. And in all fairness, that's how I feel about this amp in general. I'm not wowed by it. I'm not blown away by it. It sounds good. It is cool. It does sound good. I can't say it sounds bad because it doesn't. But for me, this amp just doesn't do it at all. It's just a meh thing for me. It really is. And again, there's no clean. There's no clean tone to be had in this thing. The sound you're going to hear in a minute, the first sound, I'm going to plug a load of different guitars into this thing, humbuckers and single coils into it in a minute and get some different tones. The sound you're going to hear with a Tokai Strat in a minute is the lowest gain I can get out of this amp. Basically at this point in time I have volume all the way up on 10. For a 30 watt amp this thing is absolutely whisper quiet. It's really, really quiet. It's not loud at all. So for this sound I'm going to have volume on 10, bass on 0, mid on 10, treble on 0. No treble because it's me. Presence all the way up as well. I've got the cut set to the lowest gain. And I've got no gain on the dial at all. The gain is all the way down. And I've got the tight switch all the way up as well, which I just prefer. But like I said, I'm not a particularly fan of this amp. Does it sound good? Yes. Does it work for me? No. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't go out and try it, people of the tube. If you like some of the sounds you hear here today, go out and try it, give it a go for yourself. But for me, personally, this amp is not staying here. It's going. As soon as I've done this video, this one's out the door, I'm afraid. I'm not keeping this thing because I just don't get on with it. Let me show you the front really quick. Again. So here you go. So you got your on switch on here, volume, bass, middle, treble, presence. There's your cut switch, gain, tight, input there. On the back you do have an effects loop, and I say you got two speaker outs. That's the power supply that comes with it. It's like a little laptop supply. And yeah, that's it really. Very simple, very, very tiny. I mean, you can see the size of it in comparison to like a Marshall head or an Orange head. It's absolutely tiny. So anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get to making some sounds of this thing. Okay, people tube, there you go. That's the Friedman BE Mini. Hopefully the sounds came across okay. Like I say, it's not an amp that you're going to see again on this channel. Me and this amp have not got on at all. I will be selling this thing once this video's done. It's just not really been for me at all. It's a great amp. It sounds good, but it's not for me. It's really not. And yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. It's a great sounding amp though. So, but if you do like any of the sounds that you've heard today, please go out and check out one of these things, because you know, but it's definitely worth. If you like the sounds, hopefully they came across okay. If you liked any of the sounds, it's definitely worth going to try one out. But I will say the Flying V portion of this video, that is as clean as I can get this amp with humbuckers. I can't get it any cleaner than that, and that's quite a substantial amount of gain. So this thing doesn't do clean tones. If you have to like clean to run pedals through, forget it with this amp. It just doesn't do it. Or mine doesn't. I don't know if the others do. But it just doesn't do it. Another, I know this is kind of, I'm getting a bit nitpicky here, but another one of my problems with this amp has been angled jacks. Because it's so small, when you get an angled jack into this thing, if I can do it one-handed, because I'm holding the camera. Come on, there we go. When you get an angled jack into the amp, well, you can't get an angled jack into the amp if your gain's on full. You need to turn the gain down, and then you can wedge it underneath. And then your angled jack gets in the way of the tight button as well, which is absolutely tiny. Let me show you. So, hope you can kind of see this. Look, I can't turn the gain up any further because the jack's in the way. So angled jacks are out, basically. If I do that too much, that's just unplug the lead. So that's a nightmare. You can't have it like, oh, you can have it up and over, but if it falls, it's just a nightmare. And again, you can see what happens if I turn up the gain here and that falls onto it. It just turns the gain down. So because it's so small, angled jacks are kind of a no-no. So if you're going to get one of these, I would say go for just a normal standard jacks. But then they do stick out. They can stick out quite far. But you know, it's not a bad amp, the Friedman Mini BE. It's not a bad amp, but for me, it's not an amp that I'm going to keep in my kind of amp wheelhouse, if you will, at all. It doesn't inspire me at all. It really doesn't. So, but I want to bring it to you nonetheless, people of YouTube. But let me know what you thought to the sounds in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought. And like I say, if you do like them, it's definitely worth going to check them out, one of these things out. But you know, for me, it's just a no-no. I don't really like it at all. I won't be using it again. I'm going to sell it. So, bye-bye. By the time this video comes out, it'll be gone probably. So, anyway, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again for another one. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Until then, goodbye now. Thank you much indeed.